You're listening to From Our Lens, a podcast for photographers and brides where we dive into all things weddings.
Whether you're a pro behind the lens or a bride-to-be, we've got you covered.
Join in on the conversation and take it from the gals who have been to a wedding or two.
Grab your camera or your wedding planner and tune in for our hot wedding takes. Let's focus on your forever.
Welcome back. Welcome to the show. It's your pals, Jordan and Sarah.
Hey.
We're kind of, if you watch online, if you're listening to us, you probably won't see this, but if you watch online, you might see both of our backgrounds are a little bit different today.
Changing it up this week.
We're both on like little trips. So I'm in Nordic right now.
Yeah.
On a little family vacation. Sarah's in Kelowna.
Yeah. Little workcation.
You guys are there. Yeah, you're there for work too. Like you're doing. I guess I'm also here for work because I'm doing a lot of scouting. I'm like every little hike we do, I'm like, okay, dropping a pin.
Jordan's been messaging me and we've been scheming something here. So we might have something exciting to announce later.
Hopefully soon. Because we need to like get on these plans. I have big plans, big dreams.
Yeah, me too.
I've been like freaking out this whole trip.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
I don't know if anybody have you been, I don't know, you've never been to Nordic, right?
Yeah, I did a helicopter elopement there in like 2021.
Right.
Yeah, because I was supposed to do that wedding in Valemont and then they couldn't do because COVID, yada yada. So we ended up doing elopement in Nordic. So, but I didn't see Nordic. Like I don't even know. I don't think we drove through the town. Like we went right to the helicopter.
No, so you just went past the town. The town's pretty small. You have to like know your little spots, and Nordic's very small still. Like it's not a big national park. There's still lots of hidden gems that like they don't really advertise. So you kind of like there's a lot to explore. Yeah. There's a lot to do here. It's honestly, I love it. My hot take is I might like it better than Jasper. Honestly,
really? Is it smaller than Jasper?
Oh my god!
Like a lot?
Like the park, you mean, or the town?
The town.
The town's tiny. Oh. It's like there's 3 stores. Like it's tiny.
Oh wow. Oh, that's so cool though.
I don't know about the size of like the park or, like
the
area, but a lot of it's crown land, so you can kind of do like you can do a lot of quadding out here and stuff. Yeah, and that's why people come here and stuff. But
cool.
Honestly, no. Everyone, stay tuned if you like Nordic as much as I do. So we have the gears are turning.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool.
I won't spoil it because I don't want to give anything away.
Yeah, but it'll be exciting.
You can kind of guess, I guess.
Yeah,
it'll be very exciting. What are you up to?
I'm just in Kelowna. I have 2 engagement sessions here. One's a local couple and one's a couple coming from Vancouver. They're like next summer weddings, but I'm excited. Oh. Yeah, they are getting married next spring, but they're like scouting their venue. It's a like downtown Kelowna wedding, epic rooftop venue. So excited for that wedding. But yeah, they're coming down for their engagement session. God. Yeah. So then, that's about it. And then I'm just going to enjoy some time before busy season, get some editing done.
I was going to say, this is nice. Also, after I'm done in Nordic, I want to like hype my little, I'm going on like a solo camping trip.
So cool.
After so tomorrow I'm leaving and I'm going to go to Jasper. I've never done something like this before. I'm not scared, I guess, per se. It's just I've never done it alone.
No.
I'm going on a solo trip. Like tenting on Sunday. So I'm tenting in Jasper solo by myself. I got my truck packed to the brim.
So
I'm
cool.
ready to go. But I wanted to talk about that because you brought up that we're like kind of enjoying our like slow season before wedding season. Mm-hmm. And it's not slow. We're busy again.
No, yeah.
But this is like my last few weeks of freedom before wedding season. And I'm like, this is the time that I wanted to like enjoy. So I'm literally just going to go and I'm going to tent and edit at the picnic table and have a fire and just like have a great time. Like,
that just sounds so cool. And honestly, like I'm so proud of you for doing that because I would be so scared.
Okay, but you don't camp very much in general.
No, I've never camped.
Right? Like,
I think like 1 year for like May long, I slept in a tent, but that's the only time.
Yeah, like I camped a lot. So it's not as scary. It is scary still because I'm alone.
Yeah.
But I'm prepared.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really excited to and I'm also like, I'm going to Jasper, not just for a camp trip, but I'm scouting out a bunch of locations that I've never really been to before. So it's kind of like a work trip too, because I'm like going to like I'm planning on just driving around
Yeah.
and finding spots. So really, if you want Jasper photos, I'm ready for you.
Well,
I'm going to be ready after this week.
Yeah, it's so important because that's like your place. So for you, like you need to know that area. So 100% it's a work trip. That's so cool.
Yeah, so I'm very excited, but
Yeah,
maybe me and Sarah talked about somehow setting up a podcast session of me in the forest.
I think that'd be so funny. We should totally do it. I don't know how, like you would just have to make sure you have service, but
no, I mean, if I can do it, I will be here.
I think we should. I think that would be so funny. And then you'll get like the nature sounds in the background. And
my God, my luck, a bear would like walk past the background. Just be like, what is
I'll be like, Jordan
doing? I'll be like, Kate Bear spray. I'll be ready.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. No, that's cool. Yeah. Busy season is here. I did my first wedding. Well, not my first of the year because I had one in February or January, but my first of like the spring last weekend. And it was so good. It was like the chillest couple ever.
So cute.
Oh, it was so good.
Nice.
And they had a little baby and she was like in all the wedding. It was so fun. So it was a perfect like first wedding going into busy season.
I love it. Yeah. I know. I'm itching to start mine. Mine's not this. It's not this weekend, but it's the next weekend, and it's near Jasper. It's not in Jasper, but it's near Jasper. So
Jordan's told me about this wedding too a bit, and it sounds like it's going to be epic.
No, that's a different one.
Oh, that's a different one.
That's a different one.
You just have all the mountain weddings.
Yeah, I have a few.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, that's the brand, but yeah. So, but yeah, let's talk more. Sorry, let's talk less about us.
Yeah,
because I know you guys like our tea, but
that's our little recap of what's been going on. I guess. Yeah,
it's been happening, but yeah. So today we're going to talk about all things posing.
Yes,
and how I feel like this is even just a hot topic in itself, because I think like there's great tips we can give. Obviously, some people are more natural in front of the camera than others, and even like as a photographer, like there's a reason why I take pictures of people instead of being in front of the camera, because I would rather not be in front of a camera. It's very intimidating.
Totally.
So if you're one of those people that isn't intimidated by it, posing and stuff does come a lot easier. But I think for normal people in the world, it is kind of something that stresses everybody out, and they're like, oh my God, I'm not going to look good in pictures. Like, what do I do? What are some tips? So we're going to try and break it down.
Yeah.
And I think what we're going to talk about, I hope we're on the same page. If not, we can just discuss, I guess. But like, there's things you can do to help yourself be comfortable that aren't necessarily posing tips, but at least we want you to be comfortable and having a good time.
Exactly.
That makes better pictures than you being stressed out and nervous.
Yeah.
So maybe some of these tips aren't like directly posing.
Yeah.
But they do go hand in hand, I think, being comfortable and posing.
Because for the most part, photographers, like the job of your photographer is the posing. So you don't have to worry about that. Like some people will come to sessions, I notice, and they're like, we were practicing posing. And it's like, you don't have to worry about that. That's the job of your photographer. Your photographer is not going to be like, hey, just start doing something cute. Like that's not, at least for us, like we don't do that. But that's their job, is the posing. So but for the posing, there's things you can do to feel comfortable, because trust me, it's not comfortable. We have both been those like deer in the headlights in front of the camera. So
I think both of us, like for the amount of times we've taken pictures of each other, like it's always nerve-wracking.
Oh, it is. And like we were both like, okay, what do we do?
And we have it a little bit
easier.
We know each other, so it's easier, but it's still stressful. We even know each other already. But anyways, let's just dive into it.
Yeah.
Let's just dive right into it, because I think there's no, I don't know, like let's just go.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to start with, oh my goodness, there's just so many good ones that I found. Let's start with practice. I think one of the biggest things, especially I've noticed this with my grads, is, okay, we all take selfies, right? Whether it's FaceTime or a Snapchat or an actual selfie. And when we're looking at ourselves in a selfie, it's a reversed image, and you're angling, like your phone's up here and you're like doing the face. So when you practice, it's always like, do your selfies, whatever, but put your phone down or get someone else to hold the phone and actually like practice different poses in front, or like different angles. Okay, do I like my one side? Do I like my other side? And see yourself from the perspective of a camera or phone, whatever, somewhere else rather than right here in front of your face. Because I think especially with grads, like they're used to the
instead of a
selfies.
selfie,
you look a lot different. And it's a different angle because your chin is out, you don't have anything. Like it's completely different than a camera in front of you. So I think my biggest thing is practice with an actual camera or a phone and not you holding it.
And even just practice seeing yourself in photos.
Yeah.
If you don't like, there's lots
Totally.
of people that don't do lots of selfies, and I know that it's more popular now. People are taking more selfies, but like even just, I think if you're not used to seeing yourself in a photo at all,
yes,
like if you're one of those people that just doesn't have their pictures taken of them, you don't take pictures of yourself,
which is normal. Like most people don't.
It's normal. But I think just getting yourself used to what you look like in a photo.
Totally.
Because even just that, like if you are not, like, you're not going to be 100% probably confident in what you look like if you haven't seen yourself in a photo before ever.
Especially if you're just used to your reflection. Your reflection's a lot different than what you look like in a photo because it's a reversed image, right?
And even like maybe having your friend take some just for fun, to have yourself used to someone else taking your photo.
Yeah,
I like your tip of setting your phone up.
Yeah.
But even that, like, then you're still alone in this process and you're not used to someone else taking it.
Yeah.
Because even I find this a lot, even when you're taking my photo, Sarah, but like, when I'm in front of a camera, I'm almost like shy.
Yes.
And I like don't want to smile, right? Because I'm like, oh my God, someone's looking at me.
Yeah, totally.
Like it takes me a good like 20 minutes to even just like be like, okay, like just chill out, Jordan. It's fine. And then you almost start to forget that you're even having your photo taken.
Because as soon as that camera gets in front of you, it's like stage fright and it's like so intimidating. And I'm the same. Like when you take pictures of me, I'm like, hey, I don't know what to do. Where do I put my hands? What's going on here? Yeah. No, so I think that's one of the biggest, not the biggest ones, but that one's definitely important.
I think another great thing to talk about, and I feel like maybe it's obvious, but maybe it's also not an obvious one. This is probably, we talked about this in some other episodes too, like your like what you're wearing.
Yeah.
But like I think what you choose to wear for your photos does make a big difference in how you feel.
Yeah.
Which then translates into being comfortable in front of the camera and being comfortable posing. Because I know if I'm not wearing something that I feel comfortable in, I'm just like automatically self-conscious, right? I think everybody's like that.
Yeah.
And it makes a big difference if you're not comfortable in how you feel to begin with. It's gonna translate. So you want to pick something, like, I know everybody thinks like, oh, for photos I need to dress super fancy, like I need to wear this because that's what other people wear. And it's like, at the end of the day, I think what's more important than wearing what's trendy or what everybody else is wearing or what your photographer recommends, because I know that like even I have like an outfit guide.
Yep.
But I think what's more important is picking something that you feel great in, because at the end of the day, if you don't feel great in it, you're not going to love your photos.
Totally. Yeah.
And it does translate. Yeah.
And I think even like if you're not sure if you're going to be comfortable, like wear that for a couple days, or not wear for a couple days, but like wear it somewhere and be like, okay, was I always like sucking in? Was I always like fixing my sleeves? And if you're fiddling and fidgeting in an outfit too, like you're not comfortable in it. And like you're going to feel like the whole session you're like trying to pull your shirt up or, so your mind's not going to be focused.
And especially, no, you're thinking about other things. You're not fully enjoying that time that you're having to take pictures in. And you're probably going to look back at them and say what you're going to remember is, oh, I hated that outfit. Like, and that's not what you want.
Or wasn't comfortable,
when you're looking back at your photos. Yeah. And at the end of the day, like maybe 20 years from now, it's not going to be a trendy outfit. Yeah, it's going to be what you what you felt good in.
Yeah. And what you wear day to day.
I'm like, if you're not dressy people, that's fine. Yeah. I just want you to wear something that you like yourself in. And what you feel good in and what translates to you. Yeah. Because that's going to help you feel your best, which is going to help you be confident to be photogenic in front of the camera.
Exactly. Right? Yeah. That's a big one. Because I remember I did a session, I think two springs ago, and I could not figure out what to wear. Like I was so stressed because I had this idea of like what I should be wearing. And then I wore something that I wasn't super comfortable in. And I think like it definitely did show a bit in the photos. Like the photos still turned out nice, but like I wasn't super comfortable and confident. And I think if I would have chose an outfit that I felt like this is so perfect, whatever, then I would have maybe liked the photos a little bit more.
Yeah, see, and it's something you still remember, right?
Yes,
like,
totally.
You still remember that.
Like, I remember freaking out, like,
and
oh, I
that's
don't
not
think
what
this
we want.
outfit's
We
as
want you to
good.
remember the time, the experience.
Exactly. Because it is an experience and it should be fun. And like, that should be the last thing on your mind is your outfit.
Yeah. So it's one of those little things.
So this kind of goes along with clothing, but I also think before your session, during your session, whatever, what you have to kind of think what makes you most confident. Like, prior to, if you have a fresh set of nails, if you have a spray tan, is that when you feel the most confident? When you do your own makeup, when you do like get your makeup done, which one makes you more confident? Because even sometimes when people get their makeup done, they're like, oh, fiddling with their eyelashes and feeling insecure about that. So I think a big one, and like also like right before the session, do you want to have a glass of wine? Will that like ease your nerves a bit? Do you want to have an hour before to relax and, I don't know, meditate, do whatever you want so that you're not stressed right up to the time you leave? Because I think that happens often too. People, they're like getting ready up to right when they start the session and they're rushing out the door and they're sweating and they're stressed. Like, I think if you can also have that time to just relax before. But yeah, what makes you most confident? I think that's an important thing too.
And even when we're talking about what makes you most confident, you probably have this note, and it's probably coming up as well. But but think about something like, especially if you're getting couples photos done.
Yes,
for example, like if you guys aren't the type of people that get photos done all the time, and you don't want to just like frolic and be all cutesy and whatever, like think about what you two like to do and what is something that you like enjoy together.
Yeah.
And again, what makes you guys most comfortable together. And that can be an activity instead of just a static photo shoot in the forest. And that can also make you feel more comfortable, which again translates into better photos for you, because you're going to feel more natural because you're doing something that you love. And it really boils down to I think the biggest takeaway, which we'll just keep talking about because we're going to just keep going through this, but it's like the biggest takeaway is, again, what makes you feel more comfortable, how you look, and what you think you look the best in, and doing stuff that like translates to you as a person so that you can be comfortable. And that is what really helps you be the most photogenic.
Yeah, totally. Because like if you're someone who's like a city person, or if you're like an adventurous person, okay, if you're an adventurous person and you're downtown somewhere and there's people looking at you everywhere, you're in high heels, you're going to not feel confident because that's not your energy. And just with confidence in general, I think tell your photographer if you have an extreme insecurity about something. I don't think there's anything wrong with explaining that to your photographer, whether it's like in a text beforehand or during the session, and just saying, hey, I really don't like my double chin. Is there anything that I can do or you can do in poses to help me not have that in the pictures? And your photographer will likely have a pose or like say something.
That's a great point, because obviously, like, as your photographer, our job is to make you look as great as possible. We're always looking for your best angle.
Exactly.
Anyways, like, just for any person, like, we're not out to make you look bad by any means, right? Like, we're always trying to make you look good.
Yeah.
But like, we each have our own things. Like I have something that I'm insecure about that I'm sure Sarah doesn't even notice about me. I'm sure Sarah has things that I don't even notice about her. So like, really, like, I don't think there's anything wrong with that either. Like, just letting someone know, like, hey, like, for me, I feel like, this is dramatic too, but it's like, I feel like I have a lazy eye. I'm sure most people I ask tell me I don't. But
but it's something
I'm
you
convinced
think
that I do.
Yeah.
And I don't think that there's anything wrong with saying it. I mean, again, we're not magicians. Like, really, if like, we will always look out for your best angle. There's like, I know a lot of photographers are probably the same as us, and like, we don't drastically change what you look like in photos. We want to make you look as natural as possible and as real to life as you are. But at least if we have something that you like, if you give us a heads up, we can at least be mindful, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. And then along with that, there's nothing wrong with saying, okay, I have an insecurity about this, but I love this about myself. Like, if you love your side profile, if you love the backside of you. I don't know, whatever it is. Tell your photographer and they can make sure they showcase that in a photo some way, you know? So like, let's just like, don't focus on the insecurity. If you have one, tell your photographer, but maybe also say, okay, but I love this part of me, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. No, and I think most people will realize that like everybody has their thing.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody should be turned off by you just saying, hey, like, by the way, I just don't love this part of me.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
Like,
yeah. And everyone has it. That's the thing. Every single person, even if you're a supermodel, everyone has something, right?
They all do.
Yeah.
They all do. Yeah.
Totally.
We all do. Okay, next one. And Sarah, I feel like we do this intentionally because it creates better photos in our eyes for like the style that we like. And this is it. I feel like this style is very much us. And so there's photographers that don't shoot like this. But for us, I think both of us love movement and like making people do poses and prompts that like initiate some sort of movement. And we do it because it always makes people feel and look more natural when they're moving and when they're not just standing still and stagnant. Because I think when people are standing still and you have them in like a stiff pose, it does kind of lend itself to be a little bit more awkward, especially if you aren't like, again, supermodel, like, like used to posing and like not scared of it at all, right?
Yeah.
So if you get people moving, that helps remind people that they're not taking photos, even if they are. Like it kind of like gets their mind off the fact that they're having their pictures taken.
Yeah.
And it lends to like creating photos that aren't stagnant and again, like people would say awkward.
Yeah.
That's what they don't want to look like, right? Yeah. So I mean, I always try. Like there's always those poses that they aren't really moving, and I feel like there's a good balance of taking each kind of photo, but like I like the moving photos a lot more.
Me too.
I'll try and pose to be moving my couples and my clients as much as possible.
I think also when you're moving, you get more natural expressions, you know, like when you're looking at a camera or you're like when you have to pose and you're just like staring at another person, you feel awkward, even if it's your partner, like, because no one really naturally does that. So I think when you're, like you said, frolicking through the field and you're laughing, like that's when you get the most, in my opinion, beautiful photos of your face because it's natural. You're actually laughing. You're actually, you know, so I think
doing something,
a combination of both. Like obviously you need those looking at the camera shots, you need those like intimate ones, but kind of it's nice when your photographer can save those for after because, or like more like once you've broken the ice. Yeah.
Yeah. When you've already like gotten comfortable and you're at the point where you don't really realize you're taking pictures anymore, you're just having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, 100%. I'll always tell people too, my little hot tip is I'll always tell them like, pretend like I'm taking a video of you and don't stop moving.
That's a good tip.
So even when I pose though, and it is maybe it is a stagnant photo where I'm like, oh, like hold hands and like move around or dance or whatever.
Yeah. Like
there's nothing wrong with doing the pose and then just still like
frolicking.
Like I like the word frolicking and everyone laughs at me, but literally like I feel like it's the best word to describe what I mean in terms of like I just want you to be like I just want you to hang out in that area. And usually when you go somewhere, like say you're going to like a little field to have a nice little evening, you're not just standing there.
No. You're
walking around, you're like moving, you're like pushing each other around, like I don't know, you're having fun.
Yeah.
Which is more natural than just standing there.
Totally.
And that makes you look and feel more comfortable because you're doing something.
Yeah. And you are more comfortable. That's the thing. Like every person, I can just feel like if ever I've started with those stagnant poses, they're uncomfortable, especially men. Like women are better at like posing and looking at the camera, but like men especially, they're just like, ugh, don't like it. Yeah.
They'll just be like,
yeah. No.
Hello.
Totally. I know. And men already don't enjoy photos overly. So that's a good tip.
If honestly, my favorite compliment that I could ever get is like when they go home from a session and they're like, we had so much fun.
Yes, I agree.
He actually enjoyed himself. And I was like, oh, yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, he had a good time.
There's nothing better.
My job here is done.
And I think for some reason, maybe it's just because of like the old styles of photography, but like people come to sessions terrified. They think they're going to be stiff. And even if they see your work, they don't know what to expect. Like a couple I had the other night were like, we don't know what to expect. Like we were so nervous and it was so chill and so easy. And like, a lot of it too is us talking to our clients and like warming them up and just chatting because then they don't feel like they just have a camera stuck in their face and they can connect with you too.
I feel like everybody just like imagines that pitchfork photo where they're like standing there like
yes, that's so true.
That's what everybody's like expectation
yeah
is.
that is
That's what everybody's expectation is.
yeah
They're like, I'm going to do a photo shoot, they're like,
yeah
they're not even smiling, they're like,
yeah. And you sit there for like the whole hour
like,
session with your pitchfork staring at the camera, and it's so not
like we don't
that.
no,
Yeah.
that's not the vibe anymore. That's
No.
very like 1900s. We don't shoot like that anymore.
I hope not. I don't know. Oh
no.
yeah.
No.
No.
And another tip, you might also have this too. Me and Sarah are like kind of like vibing, but she has the master list. But I'm just like coming from my head. But
the master list.
Another thing too. But another thing too, maybe that maybe is a little less common, but like I think picking the right photographer for your personality can also impact how you feel and how you feel like you look after the fact. Because I think if you find someone that has great photos, I'm sure they do, but maybe you guys don't mesh or like you guys don't vibe, I think that will affect the way you look because you're not going to be feeling you're not going to be feeling the vibes. You're not going to be vibing with that person like and being friendly, and it's going to be a little awkward because you're not fully like in it with them. So I think picking somebody that is like you will help you even feel more comfortable because you're all just like going off the same energy. Oh,
I think that's such a underrated statement because I think if someone's like loud and crazy and in your face or something, and then you're an introverted person, you're not going to be comfortable. You're not going to be confident in front of the camera because you're going to be like, oh, this person's screaming at me, or vice versa, right?
Well, and even like, even just like communicating that. Because I mean, I know even for me, like I can be loud and crazy, but I can also be quiet and chill.
Totally.
But I just need to know, like, if you are the kind of couple that wants those quiet photos and those like romantic photos, like I try when I do sessions to do like both of those things.
Yeah.
But like I also, again, I don't think there's anything wrong with explaining to your photographer, hey, like we're a very like slow, like calm, vibey couple. We're not like the jump on each other's shoulders and run around the field screaming.
100%.
Because there's different kinds of people.
Yeah.
So then they should, after you tell them that, they should be able to like tailor their session more to you. And
exactly.
Again, you'll feel more comfortable because it's what you guys are.
Yeah.
Like that's your vibe.
Yeah. And I think like you can obviously tell that by a photographer's personality, but like not every photographer like posts on their Instagram stories or post videos or like they don't really show their personality. So I think you can also learn that from their work, right? Like you can look at their work, and if they have like people on each other's shoulders, shotgunning like crazy photos, and that's their whole portfolio, then obviously they're that kind of photographer. But if they have a variety of both, then they are maybe adaptable. And if they just have lovey-dovey romantic pictures, then they're probably that type of photographer.
Yeah, right? Like I think, again, if any photographers are listening, it's just like a good reminder that you want to show your clients who you are so that you guys can find better clients that match with your vibe, so that if you are that kind of person, I think it's a great reminder to show that online, because then you're going to get the people that are more like you, and then your photos are going to be just even better because it's a vibe that you can't get with people that aren't like you can, but if you get 3 people in a room that vibe together and 3 people in a room that don't, the results are very different.
And I think obviously the photographer shoots better when they vibe with you too. Like, and that's also why it's important to pick someone that's kind of similar to you in a sense, because I think they'll make better work if they vibe with you. Because if you're not their vibe, maybe they're not gonna, this is really bad to say, but like some photographers might not put in the effort, you know?
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Like, it is kind of bad to say.
I know.
Like we all hope that like everybody will put their, like, I try to, even if like, I mean, we've all had clients that maybe aren't our personality.
Yeah.
But totally. I still try every single time to, like, I want them to have great photos regardless. But I think you're right. Like, sadly, there is some people that won't, which is very sad to say.
Yeah.
But.
And some photographers can be the chameleon and adapt to people. But no, it's tricky.
Yeah.
Tricky. But honestly, I think for the most part, like, really get to know yourself and like just figure out what makes you the most confident, because I think that is the number one thing, because I've seen people that you can tell they're feeling insecure that day, and I've seen people that feel like their best self during a session. So I think if you're comfortable with yourself, learn your angles, get to know what you look like in front of a camera, because then you're going to know, okay, I really like when I put my face here. I really like when I put my face here, you know? So I think trying to figure that out, getting confident, and I don't know, that sounds kind of like a weird thing to say, but I think that's like one of the biggest things.
No, it is.
Yeah.
It is. And like the people that like this, I mean, the people that model for a living and that are uncomfortable in front of the camera is because they're always in front of the camera.
Yeah.
And they literally have no choice but to be confident in front of it.
Yeah.
Like the reason all those models are so confident is because they're in front of a camera every single day.
Yeah.
It's practice. It's like anything else in the world.
Yeah, totally.
The more you do it, the more you feel good about it.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
And you can practice your poses and whatever as much as you want, but to look at those photos and love them, I feel like you also, like you said, like get to know your face. Like that's such a weird thing to say, but yeah.
I think one more little thing we didn't really talk about, but well, I guess we kind of did. We touched on it, but just to drive it into the nail into the coffin so no one forgets, I guess.
Yeah.
But I think being present in your photo shoot.
Yeah.
Like I know that life happens and sometimes there's always going to be things going on in the background.
Yeah.
But I think the best way to like really feel like you are in the photos and like that's truly you in the photos and you're just vibing and that's how you feel and you're being authentic is to fully be involved in it.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to be authentically in photos and like candid and having a great time if you're not having a good time.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
It's just straight up. If you're not having a good time, you're not going to be able to see it.
Yeah.
So like even if that is like leaving your phone in the car so you're not getting notifications. Like I know like I always try and tell people like try and have a date night.
Yes.
Like maybe before you come to the shoot, like have a cute dinner together.
Yeah. So
that you guys can be in that date like setting and date like mood, like instead of like, oh, I just got off work and we rushed to the photo shoot. And sometimes
that's
it's
what you
impossible.
have to do. Yeah,
so that's
totally
fair enough.
But if you can,
make a point.
Yeah. And I think even just taking that hour before the session to be together, to relax, to just like you said, if you're rushing before, you're getting ready, you're getting your outfits together, then you're going to be stressed and anxious before the shoot. So if you, especially like with families, it's obviously different because that just adds more elements and chaos. But if it's a couple shoot, take that hour before, go get a drink, go get an appetizer. Like sometimes you maybe don't want a meal before, whatever, but like just do something that relaxes you before so that you can be present during that session.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you're not, then you're thinking of other things and then it's kind of in the back of your mind. And then again, like I said, it's hard. We all have lives. Like,
oh yeah, totally.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
But just, even if you're just mindful about it, I think just being mindful about it instead of just not thinking about it at all can help.
Totally.
Just thinking.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. But I think, those are kind of our tips, but
I don't know if there's any more. I mean, I'm sure there's more tips, but I feel like
you kind of think of them in the moment too, right? Like
those are like the key ones.
Yes.
I mean,
and you don't want to get too like into it too, because I think if you add too many elements, then you're just going to be thinking of other things during your session. And like one of the biggest things too is trust your photographer. If you do the research and find someone that you jive with and you think is good, know that they're going to get the photos. Like trust them.
True. Actually, that's a great point. Is trusting, and then again, we kind of talked about that, I guess, by finding somebody that you vibe with. Yeah. But again, it kind of goes hand in hand.
It does.
I would say, like, if you're looking at someone's photos and there's like photos you don't love.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna use a different art form as an example, but like for tattoo artists, for example.
Oh yes.
Like when I was looking for, because usually once you find the artist, you stick with that artist or whatever. But or some people go to other people, but usually if I'm looking for a tattoo artist and I go on their website, I'm looking for like I want a tattoo artist that I can look at any of their art and I can like any of it. Yeah. Like if you look at their work and you like only like half of it, that's probably not a good fit.
Yeah. No, it's so
right?
true.
Because that's a big chunk of their work. So the same with a photographer. Like I know that obviously like some photos might not be your vibe, but if you're looking through someone's portfolio and you're like, like I like some of these, like it's probably not the best fit for you. You want to find someone that you love everything they do. Yeah. So that you can fully trust the art that they're going to make. Because it's art and every photo is different. Every photo is different. Every couple's different. Yeah. Like you can't look at someone else's photo shoot and be like, this is what I want. Because it's not going to turn out exactly like that because you're different people and it's a different spot and it's a different photographer. Like you need to just to vibe with.
Yeah. I'm so with you on that. And along with that is, I remember I've been helping my friend try and find a photographer for her wedding because I'm in it. And she is like, she's struggling to find someone. But she was like, I would send her a photographer and I was like, look at this person. And she's like, okay, but look at this picture. If I was her, I wouldn't like that picture. You know, like if you look at it from different perspectives like that too, like imagine yourself in that photo. Would you like it? I don't know. That's another like way to kind of look at it too. I think like for the most part, if you have a question about like specific photography things with posing, like let us know, because I think we could do another episode on this because there's so many things that you could go into.
There is.
Yeah.
I think too, I didn't want to really talk about how I know people might have come onto this episode to be like, oh, how do I pose my face? How do I smile properly? Totally. And like that's not what we're here for, because I can't give you tips on that. Right? Like I'm not a facial coach. Everyone's different. We're not facial coaches. Yeah. Like, I'm sure it's a thing. But I think honestly, like I could talk all day about how to be confident versus how to pose.
Yes.
Because I can pose 6 people in the same way and every single person's going to look different.
And that's why like photographers, it's situational. Like they're going to tell one person one thing that they might not tell the next person. So for us to sit here and be like, put your tongue to the top of your mouth and do this, whatever.
No, we're not. No. What is that called? Mewing?
Yeah.
Mowing?
I don't know. It's supposed to like get rid of your chin, but if you're doing that the whole session, you're going to look so weird because your face is going to be like, eyes are going to be closed because you're focusing on putting your tongue on your mouth. Like, no, that's not going to work. Yeah.
Please don't.
No, confidence is key. Confidence is key.
Yes, confidence is key.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
Awesome.
Well, I hope everyone gets great photos now because they know how to be models.
Yeah, I hope so. Well, I hope you guys took something from this and can go into your next photo shoot feeling confident.
I think so. Like if I was scared and like not knowing, this would help me. So
yeah, no, totally.
I mean, all I can hope is that it helps someone else. I think, yeah, I don't know. Even if it's just you guys are listening for fun.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you guys have been liking our podcast, I guess we've been doing it for a couple months now, which is crazy, but feel free to give us a little review, a little subscribe, a little follow, whatever you feel.
Like and follow.
Yeah, let us know what you've been thinking about our podcast. And if you have any tips and tricks. Every little ounce of love we get from you guys helps us kind of grow a little bit more. So we appreciate you. Yeah. No, it means a lot. Listening, and you give us someone to talk to. So we appreciate that also. Yeah, we like the positive reviews and whatever, because every time someone says that they listen, I'm like, what? Actually? Like we actually have people listen? Like you actually listen to us? Yeah. Especially the brides. A lot of people. Yeah, that's been making me so happy. Realize, you guys. Yeah. All these fans. I don't even notice. I mean, we do notice, but I just... Yeah, so if you are listening, let us know. Let us know, because it's so fun to hear. And yeah, that actually people are getting something out of it. Yeah. Yeah. We all appreciate it. Yeah. I love it. So much, so much. But yeah, we will see you next week. Thanks for listening. Bye.